Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell appears to be negotiating a possible exit strategy from the United States Senate. This was reported by the Intercept, and the details are fascinating because, as we know, Mitch McConnell is obsessed with power and he's pretty strategic. So what he wants to do is set the stage to essentially handpick who will take his place. And he is trying to get someone in there that he has close ties to so he can continue to have influence in the Senate without actually having to be in the Senate. So under the current law in Kentucky, McConnell does not get to choose who takes his place should he decide to retire. The governor gets to make that decision. So what he's trying to do is work with the Republicans in the state in order to change that law to give him the ability to handpick who takes his place. I mean, we've talked about how undemocratic Republican lawmakers are. This just, it takes it to another level. And again, Mitch McConnell might be a terrible person. We might disagree with him on every political issue imaginable. But the one thing you can't deny is that he's scheming. He's always thinking ahead. So let me give you the details on what he wants to do. He's pushing this new legislation in the state of Kentucky. The new legislation, Senate Bill 228, was filed on February 10th of 2020. The bill alters current state statutes that allows the governor to appoint a replacement in the event of a vacancy to the United States Senate. If the bill becomes law, the appointment to fill a vacancy will be selected from a list of 3 names submitted by the state executive committee of the same political party as the senator who held the vacant seat. According to the bill, the appointee from that list will then serve until a successor has been elected by voters. So he also has a list of people that he wants to be able to choose from. I'll give you that list in just a second. But before I do, Cenk, thoughts?
Okay, so there's a couple of aspects to this story. So first of all, who I want to stay, who I want run. So that's an old school young Turk saying. So Mitch McConnell, all of a sudden, Trump beats you with a stick, and now you're thinking about running. Man, that is embarrassing. What happened, tough guy? Oh, mighty Mitch McConnell. Oh, I'll huff and I'll puff. I'll acquit Trump and then I'll yell at him. I'll spank him. Who's getting spanked now? Now you're running for your life with your tail tucked between your turtle legs. So let's just keep it real on what's happening there. Okay. Number 2 part of the story is, so Republicans do this all over the country. This is why I have some sympathy for Oberman and Moore doing those rhetorical jabs at Texas, okay? I'm tired of progressives not fighting back. So if a Democratic candidate ever wins as governor in any state, in any red state, they immediately strip him of his powers. It doesn't even have to be a red state, as long as they control the legislature, like in Wisconsin, it happened in North Carolina, and now in Kentucky. Oh, Democrats won the governorship, that's it. This legislature says you no longer have any powers. So on that, it's not even rhetorical, I'm being totally serious. State legislatures in blue states, if you ever have a Republican governor, like in Maryland or Vermont, you should strip them of all their powers. Why are we doing unilateral disarmament? You strip our governor of power, we strip your governor of power. So are you gonna play real politics here, hardball? Or we're just gonna play patty cakes all day long, okay? What would that do? Well, no one cares when Republicans do it. Is there a big outrage in nationally that they're thinking of stripping the governor of his power in this regard in Kentucky? No, everybody's like, oh, Republicans, of course. They crush Democrats, and that's Tuesday, no big deal. My God, if a blue state legislature stripped a Republican governor of their powers, it'd be the biggest story in the country. Outrage, outrage. Biden said the word Neanderthal. We spent how many days talking about a word, pretending as if Republicans are outraged after all of Trump. Get out of here. So that's a huge part of this story. It's outrageous that they're doing this. And then the third part is who he's gonna pick as his replacement. Now, this is not the leading contender, but she is in the top 3. Former United Nations Ambassador Kelly Craft, whose billionaire coal magnate husband is a major McConnell donor. That's from the Intercept. But this is just, it's an auction, it's not a democracy. He's like, oh, you gave me, oh, you're a billionaire. You're already on the list. We'll make it your wife, your dog. Who cares? Who cares? Your cousin, your aunt, your grandmother. You just buy the seat, right? And you're one of my largest donors. Oh, you're going on the top 3 list instantly. It's a goddamn auction, and the number 1 auctioneer in the country is Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of quid pro quo stuff going on in regard to this possible vacant seat. So let me just give you all the names that are being considered by Mitch McConnell. The list is topped by his protege, State Attorney General Daniel Cameron, and also includes former United Nations ambassador, as you mentioned, Cenk Kelly Craft, whose billionaire magnate, coal magnate husband is a major McConnell donor, as well as Kentucky Secretary of State Michael Adams, a former McConnell Scholar. So what are the favors that I'm talking about? Well, it was McConnell who ensured an endorsement for Daniel Cameron from Trump. McConnell also secured a speaking role at the Republican National Convention and an Oval Office meeting for Cameron, who served as McConnell's general counsel and has a father-son relationship with the senator. So Mitch McConnell is doing favors for this guy. Maybe he likes him, right? Maybe he's like, hey, Cameron, you're my homie. I'll do favors for you. But really what's gonna happen is if McConnell succeeds in installing someone like Cameron, well, McConnell's responsible for that. And so he'll have influence over that individual as they serve in the Senate. And the list goes on and on. Likewise, when many expressed doubts over Kelly Craft's lack of experience and continual absence from her previous post, it was McConnell who shepherded the mega donor through the Senate confirmation process for the United States ambassadorship. And then when it comes to Michael Adams, they're not as close. So I don't think that this guy's gonna stand a chance, but he does run in the same circles as those in McConnell's inner circle. It's all about connections. It's all about influence. It's all about wielding power. And so, Cenk, like I totally understand your frustration about progressives and their inability to understand raw power. There's definitely an issue there, especially when you compare them to, again, the scheming characteristics that we see with the Mitch McConnells of Congress.
Yeah. So look, on the donor part, it reminds me of Kelly Loeffler. So in Georgia, she had no political experience, no relevant experience at all, and just came out of the blue. So why out of the blue? Because she was one of the top donors to Georgia Republicans, including Governor Kemp, who picked her. It was an appointment. So he's like, I'm gonna appoint one of my top donors. She'd given $2 million to Republicans in Georgia. So this is just stupid. It's just outright bribery. Now, the Daniel Cameron is so favored though in this case that even Republicans in Kentucky are informally calling this bill the Daniel Cameron election bill. Now, one piece of, in the weeds Kentucky politics here though, but it's related to national politics. Until a couple of weeks ago, Daniel Cameron would have been a shoo-in in this situation. Plus, he's African American, so Republicans love African Americans who agree with them. And maybe he does. Maybe he thinks, yeah, the rich should get everything, yada yada, all the things that Mitch McConnell thinks. Oh, corporations should run the whole country. So when they got a guy like that, they're like, yes. But now McConnell is borderline hated in Kentucky because of that speech he gave against Donald Trump. So if he says Daniel Cameron's my guy, it might actually, after all these years, backfire on Daniel Cameron. So, and then ironically, they might pick the giant donor instead, because people in red states love to punch themselves in the face. So they're like, oh, the most corrupt candidate, that's the one we like. Boom, right? That's Republican voter 101. So wait for it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.